Hello friends, let us continue with IPC as we have decided to go with the sections and how many times the questions are repeated in that. So we'll just, we have done with this sections and introductory part. As I'll just go on this once again, it is Indian Penal Code 1860, section 511. Total sections are 511 in 23 chapters. And we have just introduced for the section 53. I have just downloaded the code and we just went for section 53 where the punishment was mentioned. Yes. No one talk, this hatchet thing we just completed. That example is illustration regarding the जो जिसमें बताया गया कि A is working with one hatchet and its head flies off and kills one person. But whether it is an offense or not, it is not offense under section 80 because there is no proper caution needed. It is an accident. So that thing we have just completed, and this illustration also twice it was asked. So please remember this. दो बार ये पूछा गया था. तो ये no offense child below 7 years. This is also asked twice. This is a presumption of law, and the option was like 8 years, 10 years, 7 years. We know, many people know about this, but we just get confused. कितने साल का, 8 years क्या, 7 years का. So please remember, 7 years is the presumption of law as an innocent kid who will not be punishment for any kind of offense from a child. So who is a child? The kid of 7 years, below 7 years. Section 96 to 106 private defense, and it was asked at least 4 times. So please remember this. Private defense का section बहुत ही favorite है. I'm just repeating it today also. Yesterday also I just mentioned that. Now section 87 is a consent, voluntary non-fit injuria. So this is a torts. This is torts thing as we know it. Voluntary non-fit injuria. Whenever the consent is given, that offense is not there. So surgeon is also protected. The question was asked twice. सर्जन वाला जो illustration है, 2 बार पूछा गया था. A surgeon, knowing that a particular operation is likely to cause the death of Z, who suffers under a painful complaint but not intending to cause Z's death. As he is a surgeon, he is going to take risk, and it is also intending in a good faith. So Z's benefit, it is for Z's benefit, performs that operation on Z with Z's consent. So consent of given by a patient to a surgeon for any kind of surgery where the life of patient is in danger, the surgeon is protected under general defense. So he will not be protected, means you should not mention that it is not a private defense, it is a general defense. So this kind of question may be asked whether a surgeon is protected under private defense or general defense. So 95 तक अपना जनरल डिफेंसेस है, उसके बाद 96 to 106 is private defense. Please remember this. तो voluntary non-fit injuria section 87 है जिसमें excuse me consent की बात की गई है. Section 88 of IPC is the same as we have discussed about the surgeon who is performing surgery with a patient's consent. He is protected under section 88. Please remember this illustration. Many times it is asked. So twice at least I have seen this. Section 107 to 120, chapter 5, 107 to 120 is related to abatement. So please remember this. Abatement. Can we see this on direct also? 107, we'll just go for that and we'll see what is 107. 107 to 106, right of private defense against a deadly assault when there is a risk of harm to innocent person. And this is chapter 5 of abatement. As we have discussed, 107 to 120. This is chapter 5 where abettor is defined. Abettor is defined in chapter 5. तो चैप्टर 5 के बारे में हम लोग अभी बोल रहे थे कि चैप्टर 5 में अबेटर का टोटल जो है वो 120 सेक्शन तक दिया हुआ है. So abatement of a thing and who is abater? So abater is defined in 108, not 107. So abatement of thing and abater 108 is defining abater, and this is chapter 5. We'll just go for that section. And this is code, preamble, gender, number, all is defined, and illustrations are there. Illustrations are directly asked, so you please remember that surgeon's illustration is coming again and again. The hatchet thing is also asked twice. And we were just discussing about a person instigates any person to do offense or illegal act or omission. It is in section 107 of IPC. That is chapter 5, as we have seen that. Abatement is defined and special abatement section is 306. This is abatement defined in section 107 and special abatement is defined in 306. Chapter 6, 121 to 130, offense against state. So this is also favorite section where the waging or attempting to wage a war or abetting waging of war against the government of India. So this is mentioned in chapter number 6. And section is 121 is giving maximum death punishment. It was asked in one question, and the question is maximum punishment of for waging war against government of India under IPC is death sentence. So this is maximum punishment. Minimum कुछ भी हो सकता है, life हो सकता है, depending upon the gravity. But it's not a fixed thing that you will get a death sentence. Death sentence is a maximum punishment. So it is mentioned here in the second question also and the first also. It is maximum punishment for waging war. Repeating that question twice. So please remember this section 1 to 1 is giving maximum punishment. And section 1 to 4A, this is also favorite section regarding sedition. Sedition is treachery. Against waging war is also sedition. महात्मा गांधी का ये जो क्वेश्चन है 2 या 3 बार पूछा गया है. महात्मा गांधी was jailed and prosecuted by British regime in 1922 at Ahmedabad under section 124A. तो ये भी अपने को मालूम है, तो जरूरी नहीं है we can just find out sedition and disaffection to the government. So this section is amended section 124A and repeated question on this. Similar, twice it was asked. So please remember about this 124A. So 141 is unlawful assembly. 143 is punishment for unlawful assembly, and this is rioting. So section 146 is also important, rioting. Every member of unlawful assembly guilty of the offense committed in prosecution of common object. So section is 149. And enmity जो है वो section है section 153 is defining about enmity in nation. And this was asked, added newly, it was not in IPC. Previously this chapter was not in IPC. Chapter 9A. It is about election, public servant. Chapter 9A is about elections. Offenses against public servant. Chapter 10. And this the chapter 9A is between after 9 and before 10. So 10 chapter is defining about the offenses against public servant. And offenses by public servant is in chapter 9. Please remember this. Main things are there. Chapter 9, 9a, 10 we just now seen. And this section 192. Writing is one handwriting cover. A is with intention of causing Z. This is the illustration, and this was asked in one exam. So section 192, A with intention of causing Z to be convicted of a criminal conspiracy writes a letter in imitation करता है वो of Z's handwriting purporting to be addressed to an accomplice in such a criminal conspiracy and puts the letter in the place which he knows that the officer of the police likely to search. A has committed an offense under section 192 of IPC. तो हैंडराइटिंग में ये जानबूझ के ये करता है कि उसके जैसा imitation of Z's handwriting. So this is a conspiracy. Section 216, harboring an offender whose offense has from custody for whose apprehension has been ordered in the section 216 of IPC. So this is about health, chapter 14. Health, 3 categories are there. One is infection, second adulteration of food, drugs, environment. These are 3 types. Third is environment pollution, and food or drink adulteration is given in section 272 and 273. One question was repeatedly asked on this. So ये है morality का है, health, safety and morality. The chapter heading is health, safety and morality. 16. The question was asked about adulteration of food and drink. As I mentioned just now, it is punishable offense under section 272 to 273 of IPC. This is range they are asking. So remember this, 272 and 273 is about adulteration, food or drink, punishable offense hai. This was asked twice, so I just repeated on this also. Similar, exactly similar question was asked twice. So 274 to 276 drug adulteration, 277 to 278 is pollution. So chapter 14. Section 294, 295A, deliberate and malicious act intent to outrage religious feeling of any class by insulting its religion or religious belief. Please remember this, section 295A is an amended section and it is talking about deliberate and malicious act intended to outrage religious feelings. So religious feeling के बारे में है जिसमें any class or by insulting religion or religious beliefs. So this is important section 295A. Section 298, it is about religious. Again, it is talking about, the question is asked on uttering of words with deliberate intention to wound religious sentiments will be dealt in under section 298. Words and deliberate intention. The important ingredients is words with deliberate intention to wound religious sentiments. So section 298 IPC is talking about religious sentiments hurting, and it will be an offense under section 298. So 299 is culpable homicide by human, that is culpable homicide by human killing human. So that is under section 304. And if it is not by human or any other animal or indirect, so directly human to me, human culpable homicide, and if it is not by human, then section 304. So Rex versus Govinda is just giving distinction between two provisions of IPC were explained under section 299 and 300. So please remember this, 299 and 300 difference is given in this, was also asked twice. And culpable homicide का भी मैंने अभी explain किया है, जिसमें human is killing another human is punishable under offense. That section is 302. And if the other person is like a snake स्नेक बाइट से कोई मर जाता है. वन illustration is also there about husband killing his wife. And how he is doing this, एक सपेरे को बुलाता है और सपेरा उसके घर में सांप छोड़ देता है जिससे वो उसकी वाइफ मर जाती है. तो इसमें कौन ऑफेंस किसका है? हु इज लायबल इन दिस? द स्नेक or the person who just kept it, or the husband. So इनमें से ये सेक्शन का जो लायबिलिटी है वो 302 का नहीं होगा, ये होगा other than human being. So this is under section 304. So direct human to human killing is under 302. 304A is talking about negligence और important है वो section 304B. So can we just go for this dowry section? 304, we'll just see. 304A, dowry ka. Causing death by negligence, and dowry death is 304B. So these two sections are important. Offenses affecting life. Just now we discussed about a culpable homicide 299. That is a case of Rex versus Govinda, and 300 is a murder when culpable homicide is not murder. So 299 is culpable homicide and 300 is मर्डर और 302 का पनिशमेंट का मर्डर दिया है. सो ऑल दिस सेक्शंस आर ऑल इम्पॉर्टेंट. सो प्लीज रिमेंबर डावरी डेथ का है सेक्शन 304B and the range is the segment is of offenses affecting life, and the chapter is 16, offenses affecting human body, offenses relating to religion. अभी हमने देखा है religious 295A, deliberate and malicious act intending to outrage religious feeling of any class by insulting is religion or religious belief. So 295A is also important. So please remember this. बहुत चांस है इसका एग्जाम में आने का. तो रिलीजियस के एक सेक्शन पे हमेशा एक क्वेश्चन रहेगा. तो आप ये 295, 295A, 296 रिलीजियस असेंबली वाला, लेकिन ज्यादा मुझे ये 295A वाला लगता है. Uttering words is also important. So please remember this is chapter 15, offenses relating to religion. We'll continue this in next video because it is more than 10 minutes. Thank you. Study.